Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for coming to this very important meeting of the City Council as we do the people's work. I do want to apologize for the lateness of the hour, but sometimes we have some matters that go over, and again, as your leaders, it is our responsibility to make sure that we flesh those things out and bring them to some conclusion prior to going to the next session. So again, we apologize for the lateness of the hour. At this time, council members, if you would please stand for the invocation, which will be given by Reverend R. Kirk Culpepper from Community United Methodist Church, and then please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Reverend, good evening.
Good evening. If I could, I'd like to start with a real short quote. Everyone can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. May all in this hall this evening be guided by these words of Dr. King. Let us pray. To divinity that leads us through our daily lives, we give you thanks for this time to come together as people with a mutual love and care for the city of Portsmouth. We give you thanks for this day that is now soon to end. And we ask that as we join together to do this city's business, you will allow us to put aside the events of the day and focus only on that which will move this city forward. As discussions and debates develop on the various pieces of business to come forward, we pray that you will give us wisdom and guidance to make fair and proper choices, and that in all discussions we will be reminded that each and every person here is sacred to you, and we are all brothers and sisters in you and in our love for this city you have given us. Help us to treat each other as family members with love for one another this evening, putting aside the things that divide us and focusing on the things that unite us into a strong society. May your blessings pour out on each person here. May your divine guidance be on each elected official, and may the households of all citizens be blessed. As our new chiefs, Dwayne Bonnet and Tanya Chapman, take their post, may they and their agencies be blessed in all that they do for our beloved city. Finally, God, we pray that this meeting, which has begun in peace, will be conducted in order and closed in harmony. In your precious name, we lift up this prayer. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Reverend Culpepper, and it's always great to see one of our retirees from the Portsmouth family to come back and grace us like you just did. Excellent and nice comment. Members of City Council, please indicate your presence electronically.
7 members of City Council are present.
Okay, very good. Members of City Council, you have before your consideration the minutes of a call meeting of February 9th, 2016, and a regular meeting of February 9th, 2016, and a call meeting of February 16th, 2016. Are there any corrections? Okay. Right.
We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically.
Okay, very good.
The minutes are adopted 7-0.
Okay, very good. Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. 16-58 presentation. Presentation of lapel pins to newly appointed board and commission members. If the following would please join Councilman Edmonds at the Sergeant-at-Arms desk. With the Americans with Disabilities Commission, we have Dr. Jacqueline Walker.
Pretty good.
She has her own cheering section.
Got her own posse. Look forward to her contribution. That's right.
With the Board of Building Code Appeals, Ms. Gina Thompson.
Gina?
With the Board of Zoning Appeals, Ms. Joanne Clark. With the Museum and Fine Arts Commission, Ms. Billy Montgomery Cook. And finally, with the Parks and Recreation Commission, Ms. Laurel Armstrong.
On behalf of our mayor and city council and the citizens of Portsmouth, I gladly pass out to you these small tokens that will show you that you're in one of the greatest cities in the world. In spite of what anybody says, there's no city like Portsmouth.
Hear, hear.
And you have just stepped up to make it even better. To God be the glory for you being brave enough to stand up in Portsmouth. So we present these small tokens to you, and we are so appreciative of you stepping forward and stepping out and make Portsmouth even look better than it is now. God bless you.
Thank y'all very much. Well done, Bishop. Okay, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, City Council rules require a limit of up to 3 minutes to speak. As you approach the speaker's podium, you will notice a timer. At the beginning of your 3 minutes, you will see a green light. 2 minutes into your remarks, you will notice a yellow light. At the end of 3 minutes, you will see a red light, hear a beep, and we ask that you conclude your comments at that time. While speakers have an opportunity to address council on matters of public concern, all comments should be made in a manner that respects the seriousness of the forum and should not be made in a belligerent, sarcastic, or demeaning fashion. A speaker who fails to observe this basic rule of decorum will be deemed out of order and not allowed to conclude his or her comments. Unfinished business, consent agenda. 16-39, rezoning and use permit. Item A, ordinance granting the request of Joseph Bushy with VHB on behalf of Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority to rezone approximately 9.55 acres from urban residential high and neighborhood mixed use with conditions to general mixed use with conditions to construct a retail center with freestanding restaurants at 1817 Frederick Boulevard. Z 1508, first reading vote, 7-0 approved. Vision principle, a robust economy for working men and women. Item C, resolution granting the request of Stephen Romine on behalf of 7-Eleven for a use permit to enlarge the canopy and replace the fuel pumps at the 7-Eleven convenience store located at 1200 High Street. UP 1602, first reading vote, 7-0 approved. Vision principle, a robust economy for working men and women. Final adoption by electronic roll call, and I have no registered speakers. We're in need of a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Dr. Whitaker?
Just a point of order. Are we taking these two together, the A and
A&C, yes, sir. Their consent agenda, they both were approved the first time by a vote of 7-0.
Well, can we break them out? Because I thought one was 6-1.
That's the item on the next page.
Oh, okay, all right.
B.
We have a motion and a second, and you're going to be voting electronically.
All right, very good.
These items are adopted 7-0.
Very good.
16-39, use permit. Item B, resolution granting the request of Scott Chewing on behalf of the Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority for a use permit to construct 240 multifamily apartments in 3 phases on approximately 15 acres. This project will replace the existing 170 apartments currently in the Lincoln Park community. UP 1601, first reading vote, 6-1 approved. Vision principle, a robust economy for working men and women. Electronic roll call, and I have no registered speakers. We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically.
Okay.
This item is adopted 6-1.
Okay.
City Manager's Report 16-59, adoption of an ordinance accepting a time equipment training grant in the amount of $7,780 from the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services and appropriating said funds in the FY 2015-16 grants fund to provide funding for procedural justice training for the Portsmouth Police Department. Vision principles, change and new directions, neighborhoods and sense of community, and efficient responsive government. Electronic roll call, and I have no registered speakers.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically. This item is adopted 7-0. 16-60, adoption of an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 of the Code of the City of Portsmouth, Virginia by amending Sections 4-9, 4-13, 4-32, 4-97, and 4-98 pertaining to public animal shelters and by adjusting citations to the City Code of Virginia, to the Code of Virginia to reflect amendments to state law. Vision principle, efficient responsive government. Electronic roll call, and I have no registered speakers.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically. This item is adopted 7-0. 16-61, adoption of a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute such instruments as are necessary or describable to vacate, release, convey, and/or quitclaim easements or other property interests of the city in the properties currently operated by Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority as Lincoln Park and Dale's Home, and further authorizing the creation by PRHA of any entities necessary or desirable to leverage financing vehicles for the redevelopment of Lincoln Park and rehabilitation of Dale's Homes. Vision, principle, neighborhoods, and sense of community. Electronic roll call, and I have no registered speakers.
Dr. Whitaker.
Yes, on the language here as far as giving PRHA the authority to create any entities necessary or desirable, under their charter, does PRHA have to come through council when they're creating actual new entities? Is this a blanket endorsement of any entity that they're going to create? Dr. Patton?
Madam Manager, can you answer or?
Mayor and members of county council, I am not aware. I would like to yield.
Okay, yeah,
Hold on. I'd like to yield, if I may, to our city attorney.
okay. Sure. Mr. Ashby.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Dr. Whitaker, I understand that in order to take on a project, it will require the approval of council to approve a form structure, but this is not a blanket approval. They will have to come and set up that structure every time they move into a new project. And so this was the first project, I believe, as I understand it, in the last 10 years that required this particular structure. The rest of this resolution deals with if we have easements or whatnot that need to be moved in order to do the redevelopment. So we wouldn't have to come back to council to change each easement, or if there are closed roads or vacated roads that may need to be vacated in the redevelopment, we could do that in the process of redeveloping. It would authorize the city manager to do that also as this development goes forward.
Is this a vote that has to take place tonight? The reason I'm asking is because I would want to hear from PRHA legal counsel the question that I'm asking as far as other entities being created. Is that something that we're going to give a blanket?
I'm not.
Oh, he's here.
Okay.
Yeah, Attorney.
Oh,
Mayor.
yes, sir. You can address, if you would.
Okay.
introduce yourself if you would.
Good evening. I'm Don Scott. I'm a legal counsel on behalf of PRHA. Just want to let you know, Councilman Whitaker, every time we create these entities, we'd have to come back for approval from council, project by project. So this gives us the ability to create these entities for Dale Homes and Lincoln Park only. And that's it. Next time we want to come back on another project for PRHA that would give us the authority, we'd have to come back, according to the state statute, we'd have to come back before City Council again and request the ability to create these new entities. Additionally, as the city attorney said, we want to be able to make this project as smooth as possible. We just received a title search for both Lincoln and Dale. They have several easements, right-of-ways, some from defunct corporations that have expired, some that the city had, and we want to be able to move pretty quickly, and we've already been working with the city planner and the city attorney's office to make this happen.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Yes. All right, Madam Clerk.
We're in need of a motion, sir.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically.
Okay, very good.
This item is adopted 7-0. 16-62, adoption of a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a deed of quitclaim to vacate and release two obsolete ingress-egress easements over the Churchland YMCA property. Vision Principle, Efficient Responsive Government, electronic roll call, and I have Mr. Nussbaum here that's available if you have questions. We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically. This item is adopted 7-0. New business 16-63, boards and commissions. Councilman Edmonds.
Thank you. Mayor and members of City Council, I offer for your consideration that we move and adopt the following appointees and reappointments to boards and commissions. Community Criminal Justice Board, our new Chief of Police, Tanya Chapman. Tidewater Youth Services, Community Policy and Management Team, Pamela Little Hill, Director of Social Services. Portsmouth Redevelopment and Housing Authority, Trulanda Britt and Teresa Gunn. Reappointment of Downtown Design Committee, Tracy Jackson, and Community Policy and Management Team, Peggy Bragg.
Second.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically. This item is adopted 7-0. 16-64, item submitted by council members. A resolution adopting the City Council's newly revised vision principles for the future of the City of Portsmouth. Electronic roll call, and I have no registered speakers.
Okay. Is that a motion?
Absolutely. Move for question.
Still a second?
Second.
All right, very good,
We have a motion and a second, and you'll be voting electronically.
very good.
This item is adopted 7-0.
Thank you. Yeah. Let me, Dr. Whitaker.
Are we still on items submitted?
Yes,
by
sir,
council? Okay.
absolutely.
I have a couple of items here pertaining to PRHA, which I would like, if it's no objection with council, if our city manager, we received the email of the minutes from PRHA, and within those minutes, it spoke about the number of vouchers that we have outstanding in the city for Section 8, and would like to get an update on that to council. Seemed like there was a significant number of vouchers for Section 8 that had not been released. And also, if we could get an update on the modified Lincoln Park development contract pertaining to the minority and women business enterprise language that the executive director spoke to at our last meeting.
Madam, you got that?
Yes, Dr. Whitaker, I have noted it, and we'll get that information.
Okay.
Okay.
And Mr. Mayor, second item, if there's no objection from council, could we get an update on the advance pay figures that Mr. Meeks, Councilman Meeks requested?
Object.
All right, is the pleasure of the body, yes or no, an update on the? No, right, okay. All right, that fails. Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
I just wanted to put that on the record that that advance pay figures that was discussed should have been an open session issue.
okay. All right, Ms. Simmons.
Thank you, sir. It's always my pleasure to talk about what's going on in the city, the good news. I get that one little happy moment in the middle of meetings. We still have another few days left of Black History Month, which is a collaboration between our library and museum system. And this Saturday, we have an event at noon at the Manor Branch Library. Nathan Richardson presents Frederick Douglass. And at the Portsmouth Community Colored Library from 10 to 4, we will have Coach Joe Langston, A Mountain of a Man with a Lion's Heart, which is an exhibit about celebrating Coach Langston's winning on and off the field at IC Norcom. There are make and take activities at the Children's Museum on Saturday, crafts and STEM-related activities for children. So enjoy all of that. And of course, there's a farmer's market, a mini farmer's market that begins at 10 a.m. on Saturdays at High and Court Streets. And then this Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon at the Children's Museum, there is a community forum for those who are interested in learning more about kinship care, caring for your children and your family. And for more information, you can reach Mrs. Hines at 405-1800, extension 8258. Thank you very much.
Good. Okay, I've got actually 3 items. 2 of them deal with seniors and 1 deal with our kids. And I'll take our kids first. The Girl Scouts of Colonial Coast, Virginia, would like for all of you to know that their cookies are out and they're for sale. $4 each. I have 3 of them in my house, Girl Scouts that is, and but please, during these next months, please go out and help these young ladies. They're going to be all over the city, Walmart, Lowe's, and they're going to be at your door. So do what we can and do what we do best here in Portsmouth. Second, the 2 issues here with our seniors, and I'm going to defer to our manager. One of them deals with the post-65 insurance issue that you've heard us talk about the last couple of meetings. Council has given her a directive here in the work session to look at a step-down approach to be able to make that whole piece well. I see a lot of seniors here, and I'm sure you're interested in that item. And the second one, and Madam Manager, I'll let you respond to both of them. The second one is our seniors dealing with the recreational fees, and in particular, the ones that are doing the exercises and the Zumba over at the J.E. Parker Center. I want to appreciate each one of you, each 100 of you that came to me and spoke about a concern in some ways that we could, as a council, make that happen and make it less burdensome for you and us still to meet our objective. And the council here was amenable to that. And I'll turn it over to the manager to speak to both of those. And if you could do the post-65 first, Madam Manager.
Right, Mayor, members of council, as the mayor indicated and has given direction to me as city manager, we will be working over the next week to bring back to council a recommendation which deals with the HRA for our post-65 seniors in consideration of a step-down funding approach to such requests. The second item is on December the 8th, City Council adopted an ordinance to establish fees for participation in adult recreation class programs. We received a request from seniors who have participated in fitness classes for many years. And in the correspondence which we received, it indicated that the late Mayor Holly had encouraged seniors many years ago to get involved in fitness programs at the community center. These seniors are requesting consideration for a flat annual rate to be charged seniors that are 55 years and older. And the rate that they have recommended, and we have recommended to council, is the $5 membership fee and then $65 for all of the fitness classes that seniors would like to participate in. In meeting with the Director of Parks and Recreation and Leisure Services and the Assistant City Attorney, Mr. Miller, in order for us to implement this request, we will have to come back to City Council on March 8th with a code amendment to Chapter 25 and specifically Appendix A of the Code of the City of Portsmouth. So that will be coming back, and the request of $65 for all of the fitness classes that they would like to take and the $5 membership fee will be presented for council for approval.
Okay, thank you. And again, I want to thank the council for the consideration, but more importantly, our seniors and the way you handle it and the way you approach the city. And this is how we can work together to get things done, not only with the seniors on the medical piece as well as the recreation. So thank both of you, and I think some of you probably going to have comments, so I wanted to make sure we put that out. Did I just get a thumbs up over there? Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Okay. 16-65, report on pending items, and we probably just had those. 16-66, non-agenda speakers. Our first speaker is Mr. Robert Turner.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, City Manager, my name is Robert Turner. I serve as the President of the Fire and Police Retirement System. I spoke to you a few weeks ago. I'm sorry to say no one from this group has bothered to call or ask a question of me. Mrs. Patton, you continued to say you understood that this was a pilot program. Considering you were a retiree like the rest of us when the notice went out, I can't imagine what your letter said that none of ours said. One exchange was being used in several large cities and companies, or at least that's what we were told at the city held meetings downtown. We had no choice to stay with the city. Everyone 65 or over was being removed, whether we wanted to or not, from Optima. I believe that would fall under age discrimination if it was pursued. The plan was projected to save us money as well as saving the city money. I can tell you I'm spending more out of pocket today than I did last year with Optima. I've had to change inhalers 3 times in 12 months to find something that works that would be covered with the new plan. I have COPD as a result of smoke damage. My lung doctor asked me how long did I smoke, and I said it depended on how long the fire lasted. I never smoked cigarettes. The supplement the city said we would receive has helped, but won't match what some members are paying over and above what they were paying. Don't consider stepping the amount down as recommended by Mayor Wright. I hope you would do the right thing for these people who have risked their lives to protect this city. When I came to work for the city, it paid $410 a month before taxes. My tax bill now is bigger than my house payment was when I bought my home. Do the right thing. Reinstate the money and keep it coming.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Dr. Whitaker.
Yes. Mr. Turner,
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you and the other citizens who have made us aware of the HRA issue. And at our earlier meeting, we had significant discussion that I believe the seniors will be satisfied with the outcome. And I just don't want for you to put misinformation out there. It was not the mayor's suggestion to step it down. documents that were sent to many of us on council of letters that you received when this was first initiated had language in it pertaining to the fact that that $1,400 payment was not going to be guaranteed from year to year, that was a one. So that wasn't the mayor who sent that letter out, that was out there before. So I just want to make sure we're not putting things on the mayor that he didn't do. But thank you for the information.
Okay, well, he was the one who just made the statement. The reason I said, yeah, but then, could I have everybody that approves this letter stand up, please?
Thank you, Mr. Turner. All right, Dr. Edmonds. Your mic.
I'd like to ditto what Councilman Whitaker had said. Also would like for you to know that the city manager said that if there are some questions that you have, person to reach is Tanya White. Is that right?
Yes.
And she will be able to answer and guide whatever questions you may have.
Thank you, Dr. Edmonds. All right. Yeah, Mr. Meeks.
Do we have a number they can call?
A phone number for Ms. White?
A phone number for Ms. White?
Yeah, we'll get it for them and get it before the end of the night.
They should know it.
Okay. Yeah, we want to make sure everybody else get it, Mr. Turner. We know what you think, right? All right, Madam Clerk.
Our next speaker is Mr. Barry Randall.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. I'm here tonight to ask of this council, where do you all stand with the minorities that live in the south side of this particular city? I hear a lot of times you all talking about these disparity studies and minorities, and I don't have a problem with that. It just seems to me that many of you all are allergic to any of the minorities that don't live in Crystal Lake or behind or near the gate. My issue is those minorities that you all speak of are already somewhat successful, and I'm in complete agreement with what you're trying to do. However, we have a city manager that I believe is responsible for making sure that you all's wishes are carried out. This is not a mayor or city council run government. This is a city manager type government here in the city of Portsmouth. And my issue is we're speaking about so many other things, but we have minorities that don't have jobs. We have minorities that are felons. They can't, they don't have places to live. We have minorities, the homeless population. I'm surprised many people don't even want to shop at the Rite Aid. I particularly don't like going to that particular Rite Aid on Am Avenue because of the amount of homeless people that are just standing around and you can't even sometimes get in the store. We also have a 3-year-old minority who lives in Swanson Home. I have not heard any of you all make mention of what you're going to do about that. And before you try to hide behind PRHA is not under your direct supervision. However, our health department is under your direct supervision, and I would appreciate if you all would direct Dr. Patton to have someone from the health department to go out Swanson Home to make sure that those minorities that do not make the income that you all are accustomed to dealing with are safe. The doctor told the mother of that 3-year-old boy that they should not even be living out there. He has lead poison. And I'm pretty sure that if he has lead poison, other children out there have lead poison. So again, I'm just here tonight to ask you all, where do we in the south side of this area of Portsmouth stand with you all that are not trying to get a business license to, work out in Lincoln Park or to get more contracts and what have you? We have some minorities that's not even interested in owning a business. They don't know where they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep, or where their next meal is coming from. So again, I would hope that you all would at least take a look into the Swanson Home matter. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. Good night. Dr. Whitaker.
Yeah. Bishop? Yeah. I think that the issue you're talking about as far as the lead poisoning that has taken place, is that what you're referencing?
Yes.
I don't think that there's anyone on this council or in this room that would say that they're not concerned about our children. That is an issue that is being looked into, and I know it's being seriously looked into. As far as the contracts that we are looking to get the Minority Women Business Enterprise Program. Those businesses may be run by persons who have businesses, but the data shows that they typically will hire minorities, and so there is a trickle-down impact of what we're doing, and I don't want it to be characterized as if there are certain segments of the community that we are not concerned about, because I know that definitely doesn't define me, and I don't think that people should have to apologize for their success and for the struggle of the civil rights movement, which has allowed us not to be redlined into certain communities, but to live wherever we so choose. And so I just want to share that before you paint that broad brush across all of us.
May I respond?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, I don't have a problem with that. My issue, sir, is we still need to make sure that we haven't forgotten the children, the people that are living down here in the South Side. For example, we've been asking for a recreation center for the South Side. We don't have one, but we do see literature being painted around the city saying that you all are responsible for a recreation center. You don't have a recreation center. As a matter of fact, the seniors had to be removed from there because of the heating situation. You have people in the Parks and Rec department say if you cut the heat on, the building may blow up. So at the end of the day, I understand what you are saying. My issue is when you have businessmen that come up here to this podium, we live in Portsmouth. We are locked into a system to where people come to our city not because they are going to come for entertainment. They're coming for family. Other than that, there is no other reason for people to come to Portsmouth. So when we have businessmen that come up here before you all, I believe, again, as an employee, that's what you all are, and we are the employer, the stakeholders. We hired a city manager to handle the business of the city. And if you're going to have businesses up here and they're going to be grilled about what they're doing, again, I agree with what you're trying to do to a certain degree, but I do believe that those directives should come from the city manager. And since we're already on top of doing everything else, I also want to make sure that you all are directing the city manager to look out for the average Joe of the city. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Thank
yeah,
you,
well,
sir.
yeah, you're entitled to your opinion on that, but I think as a council, we're also entitled to question contracts, and so we make no apology about that.
Thank you, Dr. Whitaker. Madam Clerk. Yeah, Dr. Edmonds.
I'd just like to say we are concerned about all of Portsmouth, not just bits and pieces of it. And our aim is to make all of it as great as every piece is.
Well said, sir. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Randy Bailey.
I would like to say, in starting, you made a fine choice for Chief of Police. She's a very capable woman, and I wish her the best. I just hope you all leave her alone and let her do her job. A young woman wrote a letter in response to last meeting. It says, young people are watching. I've been aware of what's going on in Portsmouth for quite some time now, quietly listening, gathering facts, and forming my own opinion on circumstances. I venture to say that we have become the joke of the 7 cities for several reasons, but the truth of what's going on in our town is a sad struggle of power of citizen versus city. I urge you to pay attention. You know your city council members and who's running the city. I hope you are aware in the way you become involved, and for me, it's time in writing this. Several times during the February 9th City Council meeting, I'm going to assume that as one of the young people, I'm 31 years old, born and raised in Portsmouth. My mother's been very involved in Portsmouth politics and talks to me about it. Needless to say, my curiosity has increased and heightened in recent events. Usually a day or two after one of the meetings, I scan through the video looking for a particular moment that's talked about or half listened while I'm doing other things. In the 9th meeting, however, a particular thing caught my attention. Mr. Joe Wright, a board member of People for Portsmouth, took the podium about an hour and 10-minute mark, and as he began to talk, I liked him. I know nothing about him, but his voice was genuine, and he talks about living it, even though I don't know what he means. I know what he means, just for the record, There's nothing that I love more about hearing stories about those who have lived it. He openly discusses the racial divide that some council members have perpetuated. Although they're time serving, we know who can't wait to cut him off. Why, it's Dr. Whitaker. He's biding his time, waiting for the rebuttal, so soaked in a tone, so dismissive, that the man standing before him has lived it and won't be deserving. Joe continues on, saying that he's been accused of being Uncle Tom, maybe because he has white friends, maybe because he doesn't follow race lines, he has his own decisions based on issues at hand. I have no idea. Like I say, I don't know Joe personally, or for all the matter, Joe brings up George Washington Carver. Now, that's always been accused of being an Uncle Tom. Without missing a beat, Dr. Whitaker immediately asked young people, excuse me a second, watching, hey, that's me, to do some research on George Washington Carver and find out for themselves that Carver died not so much an Uncle Tom, but a man stripped of money and his privileges. Here's what I found out about George Washington Carver. Publicly admired by Theodore Roosevelt. Made a member of the Royal Society of Arts in England in 1916. Asked to testify before the Ways and Means Committee of the United States Representatives. Friends of Henry Ford. Frugal throughout his life. Involved in touring white Southern colleges. On the road promoting the white people to the Tuskegee Institute. Duh.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Appreciate it.
It
Good
goes
night.
on for quite some time. I'll send you all a copy.
Okay, we've got it. Thank you. Good night.
Ms. Maggie Magruder.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members. My name is Maggie Magruder, and I live at 111 High Street. At the last council meeting, I could hardly stay at my seat because of the things our councilman, Mark Whitaker, was bringing up with his readings, and especially when he stated he knew the young people would be watching. I asked, why would one of our leaders on City Council want to keep opening old wounds instead of trying to bring our city together and bring our young people along, trying to put hate in the young people. We have to start with our young people to make our city work together now and in the future. Mayor, you do have some control over some of these things. When something is not part of the agenda, can a council person just take over and talk about anything? Can there be some control? At the last city council meeting, I felt like the contractors were being badgered by the councilman Mark Whitaker with questions that they were not prepared to answer, when all those questions could have been answered earlier in a more private meeting. Mr. Mayor, I was hoping that you were going to step in and say, I think we can have those answered questions at another time, but you didn't. At first, I thought Mr. Whitaker was speaking for the entire council that was sitting up there, until Mr. Meeks spoke up and said something very kind to the contractors. I hope next time, Mr. Mayor, that you will take control and make a situation like that not happen the next time. Mr. Whitaker, you are supposed to be a man of God. You should be spreading love and togetherness in our community. You are definitely not doing that. So I say to everyone here today, we want to bring all the people together so we can work and do things together. We all want the same things in this city. And I have to say to you, Mr. Whitaker, since you have been on the city council, you have done nothing but try to separate the people in this city.
Thank you. Good night, ma'am. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Garland Alexander.
They're handing out some things, I guess, before my time starts, or is it already starting?
You're running, sir.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, my name is Garland Alexander. I'm a retired employee, over 65. I'm here tonight to speak to you about the HRA funding on behalf of myself and 320 over 65. In April, we were dropped from the city's health insurance plan, and we were led to believe the HRA money totaling $1,400 a year would be continuing. I have furnished council with copies of letters pertaining to this matter. All of the letters except the one dated January 14th insinuates that the HRA money would continue. The only letter that called for the pilot program was January 14th letter from Elizabeth Gooden. The city manager stated to you in the work session that she knew it was a pilot program and that the $1,400 was not there. I don't believe my language in the original letter. Anyone else would believe that there was a pilot program. The people who have the Portsmouth contract has been retired from the city for a long time, do not receive a large retirement check. When the city of Portsmouth contract with One Exchange, they helped define the insurance provider. They only offered us three to choose from in order to receive the HRA funds. We had to use One Exchange. During that time we were being moved from the plan. We could have chosen a better plan with less premium and not deal with One Exchange. Also during that time we would not have to go through health review. We also could not be denied pre-existing conditions. The window to that has closed. It was said that the change would be saved the city taxpayers 1.5 to 2.3 million. The HRA fund cost approximately $449,000. I guess I'll have to skip. Jeff, I'm gonna hold on to this. I had a discussion with Rose McKinney during December 3rd. At that, no time did she tell me it was anybody else. The HRA fund was a one-time thing. I guess I'll close with saying I can't get through that. This should be a good recruiting tool to say to you care for your retired city employees. As Mayor Holly would say, we are all family. I'm here tonight to ask the city council to direct the city managers to reinstate the HRA funds of $1,400 as of January 2016 and to continue the $1,400 in the future. I ask everyone in support of this to please stand.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander. Good night, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Good night.
Mr. Moody. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Were you at the public works session this evening when our city manager discussed it?
Yes, I was, but I disagree with her about the amount of money to save and how she figured it was. To say that all the people didn't come over, the spouses can't come over until they turn 65, so that's a moot issue. And to say that you subtracted it and say that we're not saving as much money, and the main thing about this is the main thing. We, and I'm one of them now, anybody that has Mr. Whitaker said this is an integrity thing. We that have a pre-existing condition we were led to believe we were going to receive this money. Had we not, if it said one-time thing, we would have made different choices. We cannot go and get a better plan, and we could have gotten a better plan at a cheaper price had we known that we were going to face this. And to phase it out I don't guess they're gonna phase our premium, they're gonna phase our premiums down, or they're gonna let us go back to last year and choose a better plan. But we got pre-existing conditions, well, that horse is out the gate, we can't go back. And for to sit here and say that we're gonna phase this out in the next years and say, oh, well, I mean, y'all are gone now, we don't have to have no obligation to you. That is just a shame that this city is my remarks that you have, these people in all the departments that put time in.
Mr. Alexander, we hear you. You've talked to each one of us. I've called you myself and talked to you personally on the phone for an hour. The council has directed the manager to go look at this plan and make sure that we're making the best use of this situation, okay? Including everyone in the plan, not just you or one other person. We're trying to do what's best for everyone in there. So I appreciate your comments, sir, and good night. All right? Thank you.
Anybody else?
When we get done with that, you will see where we're going with that piece. And I think she articulated the whole definition of why she utilized the pilot piece. And it's because there were people that went over and family members that stayed, and there was no rhyme or reason for them not going over in the enrollment period. So we've directed her to look at that and look at a step-down approach that will best fit all of our retirees. So thank you again, sir.
May I
Appreciate
respond?
it. No, sir. No, sir. That was not a question. That was to tell you what we talked about in the work session. And you're right, Dr. Whitaker, led by Dr. Whitaker and Mr. Meeks, has directed her to do that. So let us allow her to do that before we get into a debate with you on this point-to-point piece, if you would. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Our next speaker is Ms. Doris Cross. Ms. Cross?
Yes.
Pull
Ms.
your
Cross,
mic up.
could you adjust your microphone, please, before you start? Thank you.
Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. My name is Doris Cross.
How you doing?
All right. And I live at 2800 Magnolia Street in Truxton. My purpose here tonight is addressing you to try to obtain a reasonable and logical answer to the chaotic situation that was created during the transitional period with the retirees' health insurance benefits when they went from Optima to selecting a choice from one exchange. We were promised faithfully to receive a $1,400 yearly stipend. We were promised so at that meeting. We did. We got one. We got one in 2014, that was for 2015. Then the stipend was suspended. Now, this is the information I got from one exchange, and I can't understand. On December 6, 2015, $1,400 went into my account for 2016. On December 21st, 2015, I received a reimbursement check from one exchange for $212.30. On January 22nd, 2016, the city retrieved all the stipends that were put in on December the 6th. Now, on January 26th, I received an overpayment notice from one exchange demanding that I repay them that check that I got. Now, I'm in debt with one exchange to return that money. Let me see. Seems that each action that Human Resources has taken toward this insurance has created a haphazard mess. We still, as retirees, have to provide ourselves with food, clothing, and shelter. With an increasing cost of living and a decreasing income. I feel that each retiree deserves a 5-point letter of explanation with concentration being on who, what, when, where, and why. Who made the decision
Ms.
to
Cross.
terminate the yearly stipend?
Ms. Cross.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Your time is up, but I can assure you, we're going to get to the bottom of this, and if you would allow us, we're going to fix it.
But Mayor Wright,
Ms. Cross, we got a couple other folks that want to speak to you, but we're going to fix this.
I only have 2 more.
Understand. We're going to
Two
fix
more
this, Ms. Cross, okay? Dr. Whitaker?
First.
I'm sorry, Danny. You were exactly right. Mr. Meeks, y'all look alike.
Thank you. Ms. Cross, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
For all the retirees, I want to make sure y'all understand, this isn't going on deaf ears. We're
right.
definitely going to move in the right direction. I think this council in the past has done the right by the retirement fund, making sure that it was solid, so y'all definitely get your retirement. And we'll do the same thing. We'll do the right thing here too, Ms. Cross. I surely don't want you to stop making my chicken and dumplings.
Why did you say it? Okay. Okay.
All right, just give us a shot. We're gonna get there. Mr. Cherry?
Thank you. Ms. Cross, can you, because you're the first one I heard that, I mean, that's a new one that you got a bill for overpayment.
I really do. I have it in my purse right here.
So can you give your number to Ms. Hoagson right there in the blue, and we'll have the HR director call you in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sure will.
Yes, ma'am.
They told me, as a matter of fact, they sent me 2 letters stating that I had to repay that reimbursement check, as if I don't have enough debt. I got a house I'm trying to pay for.
Well, give her your number, expect a call from Ms. Gooden in the morning.
All right.
And
Thank you.
Dr. Whitaker, we want you to stay now that you fixed chicken and dumplings. I didn't know that yet. But,
Of course, but you're gonna have to pay for the
this is a game changer now. You can do chicken and dumplings. We can take care of your medical. Dr. Whitaker? Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Cross, I don't want you to think we're not hearing and listening. And also, you've made a statement, and Mr. Garland Alexander made a statement previously. Mr. Alexander sent me an email with the letters that the city sent out. And on November 25th, 2015, so that this $1,400 issue can be resolved, the city stated that the amount of this annual contribution will be determined on a yearly basis. And
who got that letter? I didn't.
well, Mr. Alexander, this is what he sent me. And for 2015, the annual amount would be $1,400. So I just want to.
Yeah, the annual amount.
Right,
the
right.
annual
We're,
amount.
we're looking into it. What I was concerned about was that there was not information that you were given that we were not aware of, and the letter confirms that it was not $1,400 each year, that it could be adjusted. And now, I don't know what was verbally said, but.
I never received any
Right.
letter like that.
Well, we're going to, like I said, we have integrity. We're going to do all we can. Yeah.
What can you do to make me believe anything after I went through this?
Well, I can only say that what the previous administration may have verbally said to you, I can only go off of this letter that Mr. Garland sent me that says the amount of this annual contribution will be determined on a yearly basis. And that was November 25th.
So the determination will only be set up as the year comes in, or at the end of the previous year?
It's not a $1,400 amount that was guaranteed each year. Now, I don't know what was verbally, right, that's.
A verbal contract can be just as legal as a
Piece of paper.
as a written one.
We don't dispute that, and that's why we're looking into it. Thank you very much, Ms. Cross. Good night.
Ms. Thelma Crocker.
fees, narration.
Honorable Mayor Wright, City Manager Dr. Patton, and City Council. My name is Thelma Crocker, and I live in the city of Portsmouth. You just addressed my concern. I'm here on behalf of the senior exercise program at J.E. Parker Recreation Center. I had a slight different concern. I'm concerned about people that may not even be able to afford the proposal that we presented to you earlier. I would like to know if there's any possible way that you all would consider continuing our program the way it is, free to our seniors. It has been very generous of you all to give us this program, and we appreciate it, we love it, and we would like to continue the program the way it is as a free program. And I thank you for considering what you have as the proposal that was presented to you.
Right.
We thank you for that.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We love this program.
Right.
And also, I would like to thank you, Mayor Wright and Council, for your wisdom in the city, your vision. I look around this city and all I see are signs of growth. I look around at Mid-City, it's booming. I appreciate all of the hard work that you all are doing. I appreciate it very much. Those improvements for the city are gonna pay off, and they're gonna pay off big time with revenue.
Yes, ma'am.
Consider letting us have this program as it is, free. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Crocker.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mark Godaldig-Yatrovsky.
Members of council and fellow citizens, what you have heard prior to my arrival at this podium, the discussion about the health benefits for retirees who are over 65, is just another piece of evidence that the city needs a policy. The policy being that there needs to be complete documentation of everything that affects employees and retirees. The citizens are on the hook for a $25 million supplement to retirement benefits that were promised to members of the Portsmouth Supplemental Retirement System. And how that came about is that people came to this podium and said, there was no Social Security offset. There's no documentation that there was ever a Social Security offset. And you should restore our Social Security payments in full. What has happened to the paperwork? Where is the paperwork that laid out what was offered to those folks over 65? I have seen a set of letters, but the letters should not be the be-all and end-all. There should be internal policies and procedures. And City Council, as the policy-setting board, should have that in an ordinance so that every city manager who comes in to Portsmouth knows that that is how it stands, and it should be legally enforceable. We are forever going to be in this kind of situation of he said, she said, he said, and that's not the way to run this governmental entity or any kind of business. So I would like you to consider putting that on the agenda at an upcoming meeting after consultation with your legal counsel. We need to be square with our employees, we need to be square with our retirees, and we need to have verifiable documentation of what it is that we're promising so that everybody can be on the same page. A verbal contract is not worth the paper it isn't printed on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And let me just reiterate, I agree 100% with your comments, and that was part of our discussion and the work session, and we will get to that point. It isn't about who the manager is and what he or she said at that time. We should have policies in place that reinforce what we're doing. And when we're changing directions, we should be square with you with what we're doing. We went through this, and I served on the Blue Ribbon Committee for the Social Security offset some 8 years ago. And we had these same type of foolish comments. I thought I was told this, and there's no documents on either side. So this is a pattern that we're going to fix in this city and make sure that we have policies and procedures to back up what we're doing. So thank you, Mr. Yatrowski. You don't get that often from me. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Rusty Quinlan.
Yeah, he's campaigning, yeah.
Mayor.
Sir.
Council members, Vice Mayor, City Manager. My name is Rusty Quillen, and I'm President of IAFF Local 539, Portsmouth Professional Firefighters and Paramedics. I'm here tonight to speak to you about commitment, loyalty, and integrity. These three words should apply to everything that this city, city council, and city employees do and strive for every day. As a labor leader and 20-year employee, I understand what it means to be committed and loyal to this city, and how my fellow workers are also, and how we all try daily to have integrity in what we all do. Throughout our career, this continues. Regardless of what department we're in or what job title we carry, these three words ring true with most, and as city leaders, you would expect nothing less. As we all progress through our careers, there are expectations along the way that if we fulfill our promises to put in the time and do the job well, that at the end there will be a reward for those actions. Most expect a reasonable retirement income and affordable benefits that were promised to them along the way. Future plans are made based on this premise and the expectation that our leaders will hold up to their end of the bargain. Now let's look at the Portsmouth family, as we've called ourselves for many years, and the new Portsmouth, as we're calling it now, and let's see if we're living up to these three words as they pertain to our retirees who did their part by putting in the time and providing a service for the citizens of Portsmouth. Are we true to those three words when we throw them out of group health coverage and increase their costs by double and triple in some cases? Are we true to those words when we promise an added supplement to underpaid retirees to help ease the burden of health care costs and then take it away to balance budgets and lower borrowing rates? I would say we are not. We understand all too well the fiscal restraints of the city, but this doesn't justify in any way treating our retirees the way we've been doing for quite some time now. Everyone working here now has an expectation, hopefully, to make it to retirement one day. But with how we see our retirees being treated now, why in the world does anyone want to complete a career here when there are neighboring cities that continue to carry benefits into retirement at the same rate as their current employees? We can and should do better for our retired employees. They were committed, loyal, and did so with integrity, and as leaders and managers of the new Portsmouth, they should expect no less from us now. Thanks for your opportunity to allow me to speak. Please think about those three words in making future decisions as they pertain to our present and retired employees.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Ursula Murphy.
Good evening. My name is Ursula Murphy. I live here in Portsmouth. I work here in Portsmouth. I went to school here in Portsmouth. And one of the things that I always try to do is talk about the good in Portsmouth. What I would like is for everybody in the room who loves Portsmouth to please stand up.
Oh, we all love Portsmouth.
Thank you. Can we please start talking about the good things in Portsmouth? I'm just going to read a few things. And I'm going to pull it off of a Facebook page, since social media seems to contribute to a great deal of the negative in Portsmouth that is reported by our other media outlets. So I'm going to go to a group that is I Love Portsmouth, Virginia. And I'm just going to share some things. On May the 8th, we have Miss Lauren Hill. I don't know who she is, but she's coming here to the Portsmouth Pavilion.
She's huge.
Yeah, okay, she's huge, good. We have the IC Norcom basketball players, girls champions. I don't keep up with basketball, I'm sorry.
It's huge,
I'm a baseball fan. They're huge too. All right. We have Soulful Sundays, Joy Haven, Pre-Resurrection Day out at Gail Hart's Performing Arts Center. Okay. Let's see. We have I understand Hard Times Skate Shop just adopted the skate park out in Craddock. You know, Portsmouth has the Adopt a Spot program. I sure would like to see some other folks step up and adopt a spot in Portsmouth. If you love Portsmouth, do something for Portsmouth. Let's see. We've got the Lefko Leadership Group, of which this year I am a member of, that this Saturday we are having a fundraiser for the West Haven Boys Club right over here at Roger Brown's. I think it's 7 to 9. I don't know how you guys keep up with everything, because, you know, it's really hard for me. February the 26th, day after tomorrow, Willett Hall. The Judgment by Vanessa Smith. I'm going to just go on some more here until got 9 more seconds. Because I was told the other day that, Ursula, you need to stop going up there messing with them people at City Council and the people in Portsmouth. And I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get up there every council session. I'm going to talk about the good in Portsmouth. And until we all step up and start talking about the good in Portsmouth, the things that are working in Portsmouth, then all we're going to do is continue to get the negative press that loves to write about the negative in Portsmouth.
Ms. Murphy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just want to let you know, let the record show you were speaking positive and the media left. Okay? All right. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Ms. Carolista Edie.
To the Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor Simmons, all other members of the council seated, and to our city manager, Dr. Patton. Welcome back. I am Carolista Edie. I'm a resident at 606 Phoebe Street, Portsmouth, Virginia. I had my speech already, Mayor. You see, I didn't bring my folder with me. I just had to stand, though, and say thank you. Because when we met with you last week, you told us you were going to carry it back, and we would be hearing something. You encouraged us to come to the council tonight. We were here. Some of them have left. All those that still here, will you stand? We had all that back portion, so they were here. Okay, the letter we submitted, you remember, we submitted it with 97 signatures, okay? And everybody agreed with it. I know we got a different proposal tonight, but I say to you, whichever way you all go, you know, we will appreciate it. And I'd just like to say to you all again, thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Ms.
Okay,
Eaton.
and I also hope that in considering that, that you will consider the time to implement it, because right now it's supposed to start March the 1st. So are we gonna? Good,
We'll
that's
get
all,
it.
that's what I need to know.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Now, anything on chicken and dumplings, do you? Yeah, okay. We can talk offline. We can.
Miss Billy Cook.
I don't know, that's what Danny said.
Good evening
Good evening, Ms. Cook.
to all assembled. Good evening. The issue that I wish to address has already been addressed, so we will defer until March 8th. The matter of the recreation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will await that decision.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, good night.
Mayor, can I?
Yes, ma'am, Madam
I'd
Clerk.
like to, am I on? We're bringing it back to council for the adoption of the change to the code that has been put in place. But as Mrs. Edie said, we're listening to or looked at what you all have suggested as to when we actually put this in place. So we are not going to just say we're going to start it right now, but we got to wait till the ordinances change, the code is changed before we can go forward. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cook.
Miss Charlotte Scott.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mayor Wright, Vice Mayor, City Manager, Dr. Patton, and other council members. Good evening to you all. My name is Charlotte Scott. I live now at 3435 Clover Meadows Drive in the city of Chesapeake, 23321. But I grew up in the city of Portsmouth, on the corner of Effingham and Argyle, across from the water tower at 2601 Effingham Street, where the bus used to stop, down by the shipyard, around the tower. That's from Elm Avenue all the way back to the brick wall at the shipyard, and from Portsmouth Boulevard all the way to South Street. I fondly named around the water tower. Some call it South Side, some call it Brighton, some call it Newtown. I fondly call it around the tower. And I'm here as a former resident of Portsmouth, and I truly love Portsmouth. I was all the way in California and couldn't think about nothing much except Portsmouth, and I'm back here. Been back here 35 years. I was here in the late 80s, early 90s to tell the city council at that time about free radicals, fugitive dust emission, teratogens, carcinogens, lead and asbestos, storm water runoff. Don't get me wrong, I truly love Portsmouth. That's why I'm back in this area. And there are some really great things coming up in Portsmouth I've seen. But the land is contaminated, all of it. And you know that. You've been knowing it since 1949. Why are you continually building up and allowing your constituents to remain in danger of their lives. All of those things kill. They're harmful to our children. I truly believe that that's why our children are so bad. Black and white. Newtown wasn't always black. There were white residents there, and they had contaminants as well. So I really like you guys to do something about this situation. Change the pipes, upgrade the pipes, get us on a lead-free contamination basis as far as the water is concerned before we end up like Flint, Michigan. This is genocide.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Thank you.
I'll be back.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson Shaw.
I can see right now I'm going to have to change my approach. For a few people know me, I've been here before. The last time I was here, I asked the city manager to get on a spaceship and fly over to town, and I enjoyed it. I think y'all are going to do right by us. I was born here at the United States Naval Hospital in a Quonset hut in 1938. I started serving this city at the age of 15 as a young boy at the Whip Street Playground, guarding the field so they could play softball, which Chief Benton was one of the stars. Y'all know me, I'm positive. You can't know how bad my wife and I felt when we got the news that my city, that I love and have served for about 30 years, volunteer in the fire department. The 29th of this month, I will celebrate my 32nd year retired. I gave up good lungs. I'm not a hero. They are. You have done right by them over the years. You have tried to do right by us. But every time I turn around, you're killing me. The federal government tells me that I can't get a raise because I blew the money. They blew the money that y'all gave, that I gave, that my father gave, and his father gave, and want to tell me that I'm the problem for the United States of America. Bull. Y'all have done good by these people. I appreciate it. When I retired, I made less than $19,000 a year. I don't get any raises anymore. The government says I can't get money for Social Security because the gas price is going down. I'm saving money on gas, but it ain't the government's fault. They get double the money they've ever got because the gas rate, the taxes have not changed. I love this city. My father gave his life for this country. I love this country, but my leadership is betraying us. I have been here before. I've never been negative. This will probably be my last time that I approach it. I think you ought to consider keeping it. I think you are going to consider keeping it. I can't go back and change the thing. I have COPD. I have cancer. I am locked in. My wife is getting ready to have a double mastectomy. She is locked in. We got a bill to buy some medicine, $465, counting copay and well, all the other stuff. I can't do the figures like I used to, but I know that when I served on the city board of the retirement board for 12 years, when the city separated us old people from the regular plan, when I was in here, we young people paid for the old people. Now the old people don't count anymore. I think you ought to consider not only the $1,400, you saved a ton of money. I have no idea how much, don't care. Use it where you need to use it. I think there's a time, back in the 1960s, you gave a one-time adjustment. Somebody asked me a question to give me one more minute out of respect.
Dr. Whitaker's going to do that. So if you would let him do that, and we'll turn you right back on. Dr. Whitaker.
Mr. Lee, it wasn't a question to you, actually.
Please ask him so he can.
But thank you for your input. Thank you for your input.
Okay,
All right.
you want to answer that?
Also, what I want to say, I know y'all I wouldn't have your job for double the pay. Miss White been knowing me for 50 years, it seems like, and she ain't that old. What I want to ask you to do is consider, out of whatever money you got, giving the retirees who did not come under 321, 1960 up to when you did the 3-1, give them $600 a year raise, period. This 1% and 2% is killing us. I don't pay any taxes. I don't make enough money. Now, that's pitiful. I've worked my entire life, and I don't want to get emotional because I love this country with all my heart. Do the best you can. But I want you to really think about that, giving these old guys. And I'm one of them. I'll get some of it, and I appreciate it.
Okay.
You have looked out for your city employees well in the last 20 years, and you've got some of the finest employees in any city in the United States of America. If you don't believe me, go to Detroit.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Appreciate it. And thank you, Dr. Whitaker, for that question. Do you have another one? Yes, okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I just want to, I couldn't leave as a 1983 graduate of the greatest high school in the city of Portsmouth, Minor High School. I can't help but commend IC Norcom for the basketball team, the men and the women qualifying for the state tournament. I think that's highly commendable. Also, I want to share that I was one of the few people who attended the initial parents' meeting for Coach Anthony Chappelle, who is the coach of the IC Norcom women's team. He told them at that meeting that if you stick with me in 4 years, I will have you in the state tournament. And they're in the state tournament. And so I want to commend him for his dedication and his hard work.
All right, thank you. Okay, no further business. Mr. Shaw, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming. All right.
All right, see you.